This might be for life. Yeah. This might be for life. Stand up when the chief is here. Hands up. Yeah, the chief is here. Stand up when the chief is here. Hands up. Yeah, the chief is here. Yeah, this might be for life.
That's awesome.
So it is awesome. So
I
this
need
kid
an
in
intro
London,
video like that.
well, we can do one for you. Would you like one?
Just for every morning when I wake up, I want that to be like
GoldFish for
life. So
my daughter's been singing it. My daughter's been singing that for about 3 days. So at some point, I'm going to get sick of it. So guys, welcome. GoldFish. GoldFish played at Katie and my wedding in Switzerland thousands of years ago. I took the pictures off CD this weekend, thousands and thousands of pictures the last 20 years of my life, loaded them into the cloud, and there you guys were at the party.
That was such an awesome time.
I think that was crazy, man. I think it was the first time I ever flew in a helicopter. I was like, Ray, yeah.
And he actually played 2 days. He played the night and the next day by the lake.
Yes, and sure, what an amazing place! I'd love to go back to St. Moritz. Wowzers!
Maybe we need to do like a renewing of vows party or something like that. We could just find an excuse to do another party like that. Would be awesome.
She's upstairs, watching you on another camera. So guys,
dropping a subtle hint.
Yeah, tell me where you are. Where are you guys? Tell everyone where you are.
We're in San Diego, California.
Dave's in his house and I'm in my house. We are. It's a beautiful day here. San Diego weather is just starting to warm up now, so getting into summer.
Yeah. And you were meant to be coming back to South Africa, weren't you? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had some gigs planned for July. Actually, we were supposed to be going to Mauritius. Kind of funny story. We had a gig planned in Mauritius last 2018 in December, and we were actually there, and tornado came and we had to the gig got cancelled and we had to bail and leave the island, and we just got out before the wind, and so we were like, cool, we'll do it again, don't worry. So we set it up for the 4th of July and we had all the flights booked and everything was ready to rock and roll, and then yes, you know what happened. A little virus came along and got in the way, a little pandemic.
Did you get trapped by a volcano? Remember when the volcano erupted? Did you get caught by that somewhere?
No.
Oh, we were lucky actually. I remember, all the flights were grounded for that as well. Yeah, we were okay for that one.
I think we were recording at the time, so that kind of was good timing. Hey, Patty, I'm here.
Hey,
sorry.
Baby Jesus.
Yep.
Lauren, tell us who you are. Who's Lauren? Very famous. Everybody should know her.
I'm the woman behind the scenes for all the Smucky webinars. And I'm a huge GoldFish fan.
Have a look in the background. Can you guys?
Yeah, very stoked.
And her WhatsApp profile.
We're hovering above your shoulder. Hopefully we're like the good influence, the good influence there.
Yeah.
So guys, each have to ask Lauren a question. Put her on the spot a bit.
So my question is,
okay,
where did you get that blinky cutout from? Which gig? Because we throw them out fairly regularly.
That was from the Kirsten Bosch, the last show of the year, Kirsten Bosch last year. And my fiance fought off a 5-year-old to get that for me.
Strong work,
You can't, those 5-year-olds, they're vicious.
Mad. Yeah.
They'll fight you for those things. Wow, he's a brave man. And,
so Lauren, you did 9 to ask Dom and Dave a question. Are you winding up for that one?
Yes.
Not all you married.
But probably one that I constantly think about would be, what is your favorite song to perform at festivals?
Ooh.
That's like That's like trying to pick what's your favorite tone.
I wouldn't be able to choose.
I would say whichever song is like the newest and the freshest right now. I mean, obviously there's songs that'll be perennial favorites, which we always love to play. Also depends on where in the world we are, but like because we primarily play 95% of our own music with a few little like edits and other artists of stuff we like. It's always nice when we've got something new in the bag that we're dropping for the first time. That's always like that exciting moment. It's like, ooh, how's this going to go? And that's always like the favorite feeling, if it goes well, obviously, is to play something new. Because, we've obviously played some of our material for over 10 years now, and it's you've got to find new ways to make it interesting. It doesn't, and that's actually a very good point. Like we'll play a track like Soundtracks and Comebacks, one of our first songs we ever made, and it's somehow based on how the audience reacts and where we are in the world. Like it feels different every single time. It's like the song, has a different sort of chemical reaction with the crowd, and then that somehow affects Dave and I as well. What were you going to say, Dave?
Good answer, Dominic. I was like, oh, jeez. Now what am I going to say? Yeah, I do agree. There's nothing quite like playing something that no one's ever heard before, and like we've obviously been working on it like crazy. I mean, Rob, if you think that you've got your song stuck in your head for 3 days, like that's literally our life. Like we have, yeah, that's it, and yeah, so it's really amazing when you've been like sort of really diving deep into a song, and then you can come out and play it, and people are like, okay, they sometimes at first it's like, ooh, what is this? Because I don't have that recognition, and it's a very like honest reaction that very first time someone hears something, especially in public. Like it's different if you're like sitting at home listening on headphones or in your car or something. You can be like,
you can be in denial.
You can be in denial. But when you're playing that out in public to people, and they, are they getting hit over here, or is it shaking their body, or is they, or they're like, contemplating it, or what's going on, So that's a very cool thing to experience. And you only get it like that first time.
Tell us what you've got coming. What's the next? Are you working on? I mean, now you've got remote. You're living remote. So how do you come up with new lyrics, songs? How do you work it out with each other?
Yeah, fair amount of it's been online anyway, like up until now. Like we're working with different vocalists and other artists, which we've been bouncing around the world. We'll be sending each other separates or stems, as we call them, with all the little different parts, and we can kind of, that honestly has just been sped up even more for sure, like how we're doing things now. Sometimes
Colors and Lights, the song, one of our kind of recent singles, we literally didn't even, I think we met the dudes once. They played after us once at a show, the Cat Dealers, and we basically never really like met these guys properly. We hung out on like a phone call like for a while, and we all got along great, and and that's kind of how the song was like done over like video calls and WhatsApp and voice notes. Like we have these hilarious voice notes that we was like singing each other, like sending across the world. And it honestly worked out. It can be a super cool thing to do, because normally what happens if you collaborate with someone, you're only together for a very short amount of time, and then you have to do everything, and then you leave. And then it's kind of like difficult, and then you have to get back together again to do it again. Whereas now these days, it's not like that anymore. You can just have a Dropbox shared folder and just whack something in there, and
So if I sent you my favorite sayings, there are probably 5 or 6 of them, would that inspire you to do a Smutby song?
I mean,
Smutby for life.
You've already got a song, man. What do you mean?
I don't know if we can top that song, to be honest. That song is pretty catchy. I've heard it once and it's stuck in there.
So, Lauren, you're going to knock me off and bring Tommy on. Tommy, are you ready? Here comes Tommy. Here comes Tommy. All right. I drop off, do I?
See you in a few.
Okay. Bye, Rob.
Oh.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it could be like a year or 2 ago, I was at Shimmy's and you guys played there. And that was like one of the most memorable Shimmy's nights I had. And I just wanted to ask if you're playing there again. Because I mean,
I mean,
these are all questions we all don't have the answers to.
Yeah, we obviously, we're definitely planning on coming back to South Africa over the summer, and we sincerely hope that we'll be able to do Submerged Sundays, and we hope that Shimmy will be there for us, and we hope that all of you guys will be there for us. But it's all, everything's so up in the air at the moment. We don't really know what's going on. And but I tell you what we do know is that on Sunday, we're bringing Submerged Sundays online. And we're going to have the Submerged Sundays live stream with us, with Kyle Kasim, with the cat dealers in Rio. So that's a small bit of, a little glimmer of hope in a otherwise hopeless world.
I think it's also just finding about like a workable solution. For now, no one really knows exactly how the social distancing and how we would actually like do live concerts or any kind of live events, sporting events or comedy or whatever it might be, because everyone wants to be together. And it's like, how do you be standing on the sand at Shimmy, sipping underneath do you lift your mask and then like have a sip of your drink? Is there a security guy going like, no, you're getting too close to that person? How does that really work at the moment? Obviously, we once we can figure out how that's going to look, or if it's going to have to be
I think a snorkel with like a shot glass at the top, and then every drink will be like a funnel. You'll be like, chug, chug, chug.
That sounds like alcohol poisoning.
It does. Depends what you're drinking.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, shimmy parties are some of the best for us. Coming back every year. When we're on tour around the rest of the world, it sometimes feels like we're out there heavy lifting, doing deadlifts and full training. And then we get home to South Africa, and it's like mom's cooking. You get to relax a bit. It's like a friendly environment. We play shimmy. It's like the crowd knows us, we know them. So we're really, really hoping that we'll be able to work something out this summer, if it's possible. And yeah, fingers crossed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's my Christmas time. More important.
For sure. But it's definitely been interesting, like not touring or playing as much. Dave and I obviously had a really packed summer schedule. We had Lollapalooza across South America. We had a really big show for us in the UK at Southwest 4. We're playing Red Rocks later this year, which may or may not happen. We don't know. But a lot of those shows are just suddenly put on the back burner or postponed, and there's this moment where you're so geared up to be like traveling. You're like this, I don't know. It's like suddenly you're not doing that anymore, and it's like it's a new feeling. Like, oh wow, there's actually time to do things differently, work on music in different ways. And I know Dave and I almost feel like our sound may even change because of this. Like the music we're making evolves because we're not like
you're in a different
festivals all the time.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I mean, the crazy thing is that we haven't been at home this long for, I think we figured out like 12 years or something.
Wow.
Literally haven't spent more than like 2 weeks at home, not without traveling for like 12 years at least. And here we are, like week 8. So it's in that way, it's been absolutely amazing. It's like,
maybe like a breather we needed.
Yeah. And I see some questions coming in here. Someone wants Lauren to sort of warm up and do a song.
No, you can ignore Dorian. He's crazy.
Yeah, let's check this out. Someone was saying, oh, Tomorrowland. Yeah, we would love to play Tomorrowland. We've done so many festivals around the world, and we have never done Tomorrowland, interestingly enough. So it's definitely one on the cards to hopefully get booked at one time. We've done Ultra Music Festival, obviously, in South Africa. We've done it in Croatia and Miami.
We were supposed to play there in March, actually.
Oh yeah, that was the first gig that was cancelled. Actually, was Ultra Miami.
Yeah, I think South Africa got the last Ultra of the season of the year.
Yep.
I think the only Ultra of the year.
I think so, huh?
Very sad.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, there was a festival in San Diego called Crossed, which was literally like I think a day or two before everything completely shut down. They just snuck their festival in. I think they were the last festival in the States that actually happened. So yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing what happens next. I think Claire was asking a question. This chat group is going by so quickly. Oh, the most memorable venue.
What comes?
Hey, the chief is back.
The chief is back. Shall I get my chief hat on? What comes first, the lyrics or the music?
There's no set way, really. It's sometimes a lyric will come first, sometimes a melody will come first, sometimes the headdress will come first.
One Nigerian guy said, that hairpiece that you wear, where do you get it? And I'm like, where's he been?
Oh my gosh.
Geez, I'm feeling underdressed here. I need to
take something off.
Get my swag on.
As far as that goes, that's really we don't have there's no fixed way. Sometimes it's a song that comes along first. Sometimes it can be anything. It can be as small little like melody, like "Smart Be for Life."
Actually, a lot of stuff comes across the gigs.
Smart Be for Life.
See, how did you come up with that, Steve?
I didn't. No, it wasn't me. There's this kid in London. There's a kid in London that just decided to do that, put the animation together. He put the whole thing together. So we sent him, I think, 3,000 rand or something. And I'm quite proud of it. I'm actually quite proud of it.
So you sent him like £4.
No. So
actually, honestly, like a lot of our lyrics and songs, to answer your question just further, was a lot of them actually, the ideas for songs happen at shows. Like Dave and I will be playing a song that we've already got, that we've made already. And in dance music, there's always a play out, which we're blending the next song into. And sometimes we'll loop that section where it'll just be drums. And we'll just start sort of jamming a riff or something. And a lot of our songs have come about by those little riffs that have come up at a show. And Dave will be like, he'll look at me like, remember that. I mean, I think Soundtracks and Comebacks, not Fort Knox, Hold Tight, those two were both through like play out jams that happened at the end of another song we were playing. And then it would be like, we'd like quickly like open up the phone and put voice recorder on just so we don't forget what we're doing in that moment.
Two Oceans and Deeper the Night. I mean, I feel like singing them to you now.
Bond.
Oh, those are two keepers, man. These Two Oceans is one of those tracks that never really, it's not a track that a lot of people mention, but it's also one of our favorites for sure.
Oh, I love it. And have you got a new album coming up?
Yeah, we're working on that for sure. We've actually got a new song coming out probably in about a month and a half. That's called Forever Free, something that we kind of not at the moment, but it's an ode to the music industry. It'll be forever free. So that's quite exciting. It's a more kind of like along the chilled line of GoldFish, like Moonwalk Away style, a little bit of Afro, a little bit of So that's coming up, and we're working towards a new album for early next year, for the first quarter next year. And
how can we help you? We all love you. You're great heroes. How can we help you? Give us a mission.
A mission.
Well, first of all, log in on Sunday for our first live stream.
We're
doing Submerged Sundays. It's really gonna be fun. We're playing out on Dave's beautiful outdoor garden, and we're also supporting a charity for the first time, Ladles of Love, that do
in Cape Town.
Meals for people who are most vulnerable in Cape Town. So we're collecting donations for that, and I mean
we're kind of like
thing on the bot. Won't you where to go on the donations? I'm sure we'll push that out.
Yeah, we're starting a new. It's our first time we're actually doing any sort of like, we've done a whole bunch of streams, but we haven't done any like collecting of any sort of like money before. So but we've got like a team of guys who've been helping us, technical staff, and like, of course, the musicians and the guys who are coming on board. And, we've got all these people who are out of work. And so we're going to be doing that this Sunday. We're putting on a cool, hopefully a cool show, and taking donations from people, and supporting some charity at the same time. And hopefully our main aim, honestly, by doing these live stream events is to A, get to play, from our side, to get to actually make music, because that's kind of what we always do, and B is to give people something to distract them from all this crazy, because there's a lot of crazy going on, and especially in South Africa, I think we're kind of lucky. In San Diego, the lockdown hasn't been that hectic. Like you can go outside. You can go outside and surf whenever you want. You can ride your bicycle. That's, by the way, that's where this happened, Claire. She was asking. That's just, I won't show you my knee, but yeah,
it's been
another day.
It's been incredibly draconian here. It's no cigarettes, no alcohol. And my worry is the government might sort of enjoy keeping us in lockdown 2 and 1 forever. They get this smell of power. It's a bit scary. I hope they're not listening.
It is. Of course they are.
So have a look. Gavin Edwards, who's a smutbee, who's from the Cape, actually sings the songs. This is
brilliant.
Live. And Matt Bond, this young guy in London, came up with the Smutbee for Life. So we'll connect him to you. I think you'll be thrilled.
And did Matt do the animation as well?
I think yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He did.
Brilliant. Jeez, what a talented guy.
So there's some questions here, guys. Do you want to dive on in on that?
Yeah. Well, who's first here? I think we've got Patty says, is that
the Holy
Patrick
Girl.
Craig? Hi, Brie. What are some of the challenges you're facing currently with taking your brand to the next level? How are you overcoming approaching them? Challenges. I mean, well, this one's a huge challenge. It's obviously hit the music industry for a sucker punch to the face, and everyone's sort of adjusting and coming up with how the counterpunch is going to be. It's very interesting seeing what everyone's doing. I think there's going to be a huge movement into VR, like a much quicker VR type situation, especially if this goes long term past this year and not being able to go into concerts. Why not have some sort of online VR situation which immerses you in it as opposed to watching it on a screen in 2D? I think that would be, I'm sure people are working on it right now.
It's definitely really happening. I just had a call with a guy who's like, he's in talks with like Epic Games and all sorts of like crazy stuff, but with their, haptic suits and crazy stuff. So there's definitely, with all, all challenges bring opportunities, and there's definitely opportunities going on here. We actually had our very first gig yesterday, which was like, we played a private birthday party for somebody, and it was pretty classic. So they paid us. There was a negotiation that happened, and anyway. But it was pretty classic. So they were having like a Zoom quiz night for his birthday. Kind of like a little bit lame, but okay.
We do that. No, hang on, we do that.
But just so check it out.
It's a birthday party. Yeah.
So it was this guy's 40th, right? So he's like, there they are, and after the first hour, they're having a Zoom, and then suddenly, GoldFish Man arrives, boom, because that's what our Zoom handle is called, and then Dom and Dave arrive, and we're like, yo, dude, it's your birthday, happy birthday, and this guy's like, what the hell? Anyway, so that was pretty fun. So we played him happy birthday, and they were just like, the people were just going mad. And then they were like, cool. Oh, thanks, guys. That was so cool. And like, what a cool like little way to celebrate my birthday. And I was like, that's not all. And we started, and we hooked up, and we sent them like a private YouTube link. And then the party started, man. And we rocked out online with these people. It was obviously they were getting tanked with whatever they had left, all that funky stuff that you got left in the booze cabinet now, like what was that? What's that purple bottle? All like basically what's happened. You know how your bottle, your booze cabinet works. It's like all the good stuff was at the front, and you kind of work towards the back where there was potency, you're making cocktails with like the weird stuff, and yeah, so that's what was going on, and yeah, it was pretty cool, and they were giving us requests, and apparently they raged until like 2 a.m. after we left, so that was pretty fun.
But this could be a whole new thing. It really could.
Sure.
Having a party, beam you in. You know who's there, whose party it's for.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally. It went really well. It actually, like we were sort of hesitant and unsure about like how it was going to sort of pan out. But on a Zoom call, we had a whole setup. You can actually go on our Instagram at GoldFish Live. You can see some pics from it, and we have them all up on our Zoom chat on a big screen behind us, so we can see them and they can see us, and they can see themselves on the TV in our home playing. And that once we did that really like energized people, because you really are connecting and you are together, and it's not like this one way thing where we're like playing at them. We're in it together, sort of.
It's more like this. It's more like what we're doing now, except one of us is talking music.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll ask a question then, Lauren can. What's happened to your schedule? Because your schedule's been kind of wiped out by this lockdown. Is everything being shifted a couple of months on, or is this piece just goes missing?
I think some of the stuff, like for instance, Lollapalooza South America got moved to the end of November, and all the other festivals were either just like postponed by a year, or they've like gone. One or two of them were like, okay, well, we'll when we get back to knowing what's happening next year, we will contact you again, kind of thing. So that was like only like one of them was a bit iffy like that, but the rest of them has all been like, okay, we're just postponing a year, or we're postponing 6 months, or it was a bit disappointing because we did have some amazing bookings, and like what are you doing 5 to 8 November?
Because Kate and I were going to we had our hosts of the 80th, me 50, you get the rest, in Beijing, 200 people. And we were going to do the Hearst 100th in Cape Town at the end of April. And we invited you. We actually were going to wanted you. Katie said, GoldFish has to be, but you weren't available. So we got 20 other bands and DJs and things like that to not even replace you. But as well, it didn't happen. Those are the dates. Can you make it? Cape Town?
I don't know. Can we
get there?
Can we get there? Is the question.
We have to smuggle them into the country.
Mr. Jet.
Well, Mr. Jet over there, anything's possible. The chief.
So Lauren,
when the chief calls, the fish come running.
The fish.
I think it's all the stuff's on this kind of like rolling kind of, a month or two out. We can kind of see what's happening closer to the time. Like all these festivals, it's still a question mark about whether they will happen later in the year or not, just depending on how things go. It's definitely interesting seeing, how this is going to pan out into 2021 as well.
Something new is going to happen. Now, Lauren, you're brewing on a question.
There's a question in the chat log here that relates to something that I wanted to ask. What was the first moment where you guys looked at each other and said, "We've made it"?
Or like, still don't feel like that's happened.
I'll let you know when it happens. We'll send you a letter.
No. When I saw that you were playing,
we've made it finally.
Then I was kind of like,
private jet.
That's why these guys are my favorites. Coachella.
I don't think you ever feel like you do though. Coachella was awesome.
I mean, look, you gotta understand. Like, we've played a lot of these festivals that you've heard about in the world, and like, there's even within a festival, there's the little stage over here in the corner, and there's the main stage where Beyonce plays. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, as an example, the very first time we played Ultra Music Festival in I don't know when it was in a little tent, probably the size of a single garage, maybe a double garage. And Black Coffee, coincidentally, was playing in a similar size tent at the same time,
next to a pizza truck.
Next to a pizza truck, just on the other side. And
it was super surreal. We were all there, nuts.
We still said we still were like, hey, we played Ultra Music Festival, but it wasn't like we were on the main stage. You know, Black Coffee's credit cards weren't working. We had to lend him money, and it was like that was back in the day.
See, I don't even know what I'm doing with my career yet. I haven't worked out what I'm going to do with my career, and I'm turning 60. But I'll work out at some point when I am, and I'll let you know.
Yeah,
thanks. Send us a letter.
But I think that as far as like feeling like when you've made it, there's a day. I don't know if it's like a coping mechanism, but it never really feels. I feel like you always want to keep things at arm's length. You want to keep. It's like I feel like Dave and I feel the exact same way when we're playing Coachella as we did when we were playing some of our first shows at Baraza. It's like this is the gig. We've got to do the thing. You like focus into the thing, and then it's very rare that it sneaks up on you, and you go like, "Whoa, this is actually like kind of a big deal," because you just get into like mission mode, and it's like, I don't know. I think I've like got a paranoia about keeping it honest, like keeping yourself honest, and not just like I don't know, like high-fiving yourself in the face with it. You know,
a great friend of mine has wonderful sayings. Dermot Desmond, the Irish, with his moustache and his Celtic Football Club. He says happiness is three things: something to do, something to love, something to look forward to. And you have to have all three, you know, something to do, something or someone to love, and something to look forward to. And when people get very old, they lose a lot of the people in their lives, don't have anything to do, and they have nothing to look forward to. So if you've actually said, I've made it, what do you look forward to?
Yeah, exactly. The journey's over.
Yeah.
That's
So,
great.
yeah. Laura.
Yeah. Shoot.
Okay. One last question. It's kind of a two-part question. You've obviously played all over the place. What would you say is your absolute favorite, but you're not allowed to say Cape Town because that's obvious, your favorite festival that you've ever played and the worst you've ever played, and why it was the worst?
Dave, you want to take this one?
My favorite festival, I mean, I would probably say like, you know, there's so many different, like each kind of festival versus like show versus concert versus club environment. They each have a different flavor. They each like a different genre of gig, really. So, you know, one of the most incredible things we did was we played at this place in Brazil. It's about an hour and a half drive outside Sao Paulo called La Rock. We've actually, the whole set's on our YouTube page. You can go check it on GoldFish Live. And it's like a club that has 5,000 people in it. It's crazy. It's
like an aircraft hangar.
And it's like it's like a festival. It looks like Tomorrowland kind of style festival, but it's a club that happens like, you know, twice a weekend. And it's completely nuts. And to play there is like, it's just one of, you know, it's a really, we've really been fortunate to have played many amazing venues, many amazing places. Last year we were lucky to play Red Rocks in like just outside Denver, which is truly one of the most magnificent venues in the world. It's never mind the fact that it's on the level of Kirstenbosch Gardens, but it's in Denver and it's been there for so long, and
slightly
bigger,
10,000.
and 10,000 people, and you're sharing a stage with like the Beatles played there. You know, there's not very many places that you can go in the world and play a gig still now and be on a stage that the Beatles played on. Now that's something that gives you the chillies and your
And crazy story, the Beatles didn't sell out their gig when they played there. That's one of the few gigs they didn't sell out on their first tour to America. They played Red Rocks in Colorado, and for whatever reason, I don't know if Colorado hadn't caught on to the Beatles, but it wasn't like a packed show. Bizarre.
Shame that one time that they didn't sell out. And then
the worst. What's the worst show, Dave? I
think the worst show was when I had to go by myself to the UAE. 2 days before the show, Dom got chicken pox. Can you believe it?
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Yeah,
he was going to and he was going to the doctors and doing all this stuff. And I said, dude, you got chicken pox, pal. And he's like going blood tests and all this crap. And I was like, no, dude, you got chicken pox.
The doctors they didn't check me for that because they just thought I would have had it as a kid or something. And it just, very rare thing. But I was sick as a dog, couldn't be there.
So I hit up some contacts in Dubai that we have, and I was like, hey, I need someone who can play something, whatever, piano or something. Because we had this gig, I need a dom, and it was just like, it was kind of like a weird place. It wasn't even like, it wasn't in like Dubai. It was like, I don't know. It was basically when I think I sent Dom a pin of where I was, and the map said I was in the middle of the water. You know, it was one of those vibes. And so
only recently become land.
And the promoter, and literally the promoter's name was Jihad. Super cool guy. Not allowed into America either. But anyway, funny. Yeah. Anyway, so I played this gig, and then this friend of mine in Dubai, he's like, yeah, I've got a guy. He's like a jazz musician. He'll do it. His name's Adam, and he'll come and he'll do it. And then so I'm like, okay. It was just like this gig, and you know, it wasn't worth not.
What you're trying to say is you really missed me.
Exactly.
Or he didn't miss me. Maybe he didn't miss me at all. It was a lot more peaceful.
No, we really missed it because this dude arrives, and he's like at least this much taller than Dom. Firstly, so not good. Doesn't look like that. And has no hair, completely shaved.
Hey, I could have got a haircut. Anyway, I mean, he pulled it off. It's a hard thing just chucking someone into a show in front of like a couple thousand people, and they have to just sort of wing it. Definitely.
Yeah. We renamed him. His name was Adam, but we renamed him B-Dom.
Adam.
Some of your tracks, you have other singers. You bring in guest singers. Yeah, is that now the strategy going forward, or just you're going to mix it up?
I mean, it's been the strategy at the beginning.
Yeah,
it's awesome because we get to have different lead singers. You know, I mean, honestly, the beauty of it is sometimes the challenge can be if you've got a lead singer, you know, you guys are stuck with that kind of vocal delivery and that person's style, which can be amazing if you're Chris Martin or Adele. But Dave and I like to mix it up and work with male vocalists, female vocalists, African style vocals. And I think that's also been part of the secret to our longevity, is that we've been able to like have about 4 or 5 different GoldFish style songs. You know, they all. It's like Dave, for sure. He sings on like 5 of our tracks actually.
Do you try? Do you practice?
It's about 5.
What's
you're practicing, Dave? In the shower.
In the shower. So, guys, one question: what do you have with you from South Africa that, when you look at, reminds you of home? Anything?
Dave's family.
every turn. Wait, I'll go fetch something quickly. 1 second.
Because Dom, while he's not listening, Dom, we're sending each of you a pair of Veldschoens.
No ways.
Yeah, yes ways.
That is so awesome. Thank you.
Nick Dreyer, Veldschoen.com, said he wants to send you guys a pair of Veldschoen. Do you want, what color laces do you want? This is quite important.
Sure. I think they have to be orange.
Orange, okay.
Yeah, GoldFish orange. That's so awesome.
That's too funny. Will you shoot me that with your WhatsApp? Yes, like Choma.
Yes, like.
And like, you know what the classic thing is that you got a couple of American buddies here, and there's a couple of them who really they really love firstly they all love the South African accent. They think it's amazing. For some, I don't know why, but they do. And but then they come and they read this thing and they love it, man. They're like, yes, Lake, yes, Lake. What's a choma? What's a choma? It's very funny, man. And we've got a couple of guys now, and they'll slip into conversation. They'll just be like, we'll be talking to them in normal times, and they'll be like, shame. Which is really funny.
Shame, man.
Because what you don't understand is like no one in the rest of the world says that. Like that is like a really South African thing.
Robot.
Yeah, robot.
Yeah, of course the normal stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Traffic lights.
Well, guys, we miss you. South Africa misses you. We're so fucking proud of you. You guys have taken on the world and you've won. And we love your music. We love you, really do. And we miss you. And when you get here November the 5th to the 8th, we're going to parties. And Dave, we're sending you a pair of Veldschoen. So from Nick Dreyer.
Yes, you missed that.
Please.
What laces?
Thanks, Nick.
What laces do you want? Red.
I said orange, Dave.
Orange.
I said GoldFish orange.
Pink, red. What do you want? They're special edition.
special edition. Then there should be like black and orange.
Black
That's
and orange.
good. That's some good goldfish colors.
And you can have, there are two types. There's saints or sinners. Are you a saint or a sinner?
Sure. Depends which day.
And
Can we do one for each foot?
Okay, I'm gonna look them up so we can see what the style looks like.
and the final question from me, and then Lauren, it's to you. How can we help you? Is there anything we can do? Your people who love you and follow you and believe in you and proud of you.
I mean, hey, listen, you're listening to our music. You know, if you spread always like mouth to mouth, not mouth to mouth, word of mouth. You know,
social distancing, Dave.
It's still no. You can't translate.
Spread the word.
Yeah, no, just
spread the
word. Word of mouth is the best, and you know, if you're listening, spreading the music, streaming the music, you know, that's awesome. And you know, you guys, everyone's been so supportive, man. Like we just stoked to still be, you know, to still have a career and still be rocking out, doing what we do, you know, music, you know.
It's it's a privilege.
But come and jump onto Submerged Sundays on Sunday. Starts at 8 p.m. South African time. And there's Kal Kasim from 5FM is going to open up. He was a regular at Submerged this last season. Then we're going to take over, and then all the way from Rio de Janeiro, we've got two brothers, the Cat Dealers, the guys we did the song "Colors and Light" with. They've come on board. They're two super cool dudes. They were the two guys that we made that song sort of via WhatsApp and voice notes and Dropbox and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just that's how you guys can support, man. And
so Lauren, you've got one more question, darling, and then I'm going to give a little present to Mom and Dave.
Okay. Will Digby be there for Submerged Sundays?
Digby lives here.
I think he makes a little appearance every now and again. He's honestly the coolest little Jack Russell. When we did the birthday party yesterday, he popped up on the stream. He came and said hi while we were playing, and I picked him up. And immediately there was about 40 people on the birthday party stream. Everyone else somehow, I mean, there was at least like 3 or 4 other families on the Zoom chats, all brought their Jack Russells up to the screen. And we were like, there he is.
Hey, Digby.
Right.
He's become a little social media star. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. Hey, buddy.
He's all warm. He's been bundled up in a duvet.
He's just been working out.
Life is hard, man.
Thank you so much, guys.
On Sunday, Digby.
Matt Bond, the guy who did the little animation of the chief, for your animation that we're doing for you, do you want the two of you? Do you want, you said there was the goldfish dude or the goldfish guy. What do you want in your animation?
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we introduce Matt to our animators who do all our animated stuff, and you know, maybe they could bring him on board for something, because
that'd be great.
We're working on a whole lot of new stuff with them. So
it's a great idea.
Yeah, and they're super cool guys, and
that would be epic. We'll call him now. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much. See you soon. See you in November.
Thanks, guys.
Keep on rocking.
It's a day.
Thanks for having us.
Big love, guys.
And Lauren, will you play the jingle one more time?
Yes, of course.
Sticks in their heads. All right.
Hey, boy.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.
Smoppy for life. Yeah. Smoppy for life. Stand up when the chief is here. Hands up. Yeah, the chief is here. Stand up when the chief is here. Hands up. Yeah, the chief is here. Yeah. Smoppy for life. This might be for life. Yeah. This might be for life. Stand up when the chief is here. Hands up. Yeah, the chief is here. Stand up when the chief is here. Hands up. Yeah, the chief is here. Yeah, this might be for life.